What's going on YouTube? Excellion here, and I'm here with 5 starter tips for streaming on Mixer and how you can start getting viewers to tune into your channel. The first tip that I'm going to be giving to you is create a unique brand for yourself. Now, this is so much more than just logos. This is so much more than just slogans, etc. The first thing is an easy to remember name. Now, when you create an account on Mixer for the first time, you'll be assigned a random username, an auto-generated username. And this name could be something like Swept Hippo 739 or Portable Pants 24489, you know, something really crazy, just out of the blue, has nothing to do with anything. These are not memorable. I have the hardest time remembering the people who come in with those kinds of names because they're not unique. So what I recommend that you do is head on over to your account settings, jump on over to the change username section, just right there, and change your username. See if it's available. You can do this once immediately after you create your account, and then you can do it once again after every 30 days that passes. Now, the second part of this that I want to touch on is getting high quality brand assets. Once you've selected your name, you've got a cool username, I recommend that you toy around with creating a little logo for yourself. This may not come easy for a lot of people out there. You know, I myself struggle sometimes with creativity. You know, jump on, Corel, Painter, or if you have Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, just toy around with some vector graphics and see if you can come up with something cool, at least to get you started. Even if you're not the best artist like myself, any logo is better than no logo at all. Now, if you're serious about streaming, I encourage you to look for an artist who specializes in logo creation, or at least spend the right amount of time learning how to do it for yourself in a high quality way. Look at tutorials on YouTube, look at other videos, and see how to create vector logos in like a gaming scenario or something. Now, Mixer users, like I mentioned, are able to select a unique avatar. I recommend you either set this to a photo of yourself or you set it to the logo that you have decided on previously. When I am browsing streams personally, if the channel that I'm looking at has an avatar selected and a unique name, I am more inclined to want to jump in and start watching them. I think to myself, okay, this guy has a cool name. This guy's got a brand, something established for himself. So I'm going to go take a look. Take that into account. Make sure that you invest the proper time in creating a unique brand for yourself. Tip number 2, establish and stick to a schedule. This is something I think a lot of people don't really understand when they first start. Let me sort of give you a scenario. Imagine that you have a favorite TV show. Let's take, Pokemon or something, Grey's Anatomy or The Bachelor, talking about random TV shows off the top of my head. What if those TV shows all of a sudden said, hey, we're going to start airing randomly, random times and on random days, just whenever we feel like it? I can almost guarantee you that the majority of the viewership from those shows is going to drop off. And the reason is because viewers, they like habitual things. They like to have a regular schedule. They like to feel comfortable watching the same things at the same time during the day. So you want to take that into account and think to yourself, okay, I'm going to start streaming at least on the same days. Right off the bat, it could be kind of tough. Starting streaming, you're not going to really have that many viewers initially. You might start with 0 or 1 or 2 or whatever, but at least try to get a few people in there. Tell your friends, tell your family to jump in and give you some sort of viewership. Let's say you start at 10 a.m. Your viewership really doesn't start to peak until about 12 p.m. Then maybe you should adjust your schedule a slight amount. Maybe start at like 11:30 a.m. That way you're not wasting 1 hour or 2 hours until you really start to pop off and start getting more viewers. And then that way you can sort of establish a better viewing schedule and viewers can come in and start watching you regularly on a habitual basis. Now, once you've established these days, stick to them as best as you can. It's not always easy, especially if you're not a full-time streamer, but if you are really committed, if you're really serious about starting streaming, I promise you that sticking to a dedicated streaming schedule is going to be just about the #1 thing that you can do to encourage viewership and growth in your channel. Now, another thing I want to touch on there is that it's important to take a day or two off, especially starting out. If you're a new streamer, I really am cautioning you of streamer burnout. It is real, it is a thing. I myself feel burned out sometimes and I just need to take a break and need to take a step back. So I encourage you to take 1 or 2 days off. And I also encourage you to not stream longer than about 3 to 4 hours at a time starting out. Unless you just happen to start seeing this incredible growth initially, I would recommend taking 3 to 4 hours to stream, take more, other time throughout the day and maybe focus on something else that can help you boost your brand. For instance, you could start, your social media, work on your social media a little bit, or you could go on YouTube, start focusing on creating some videos there if you want, or you could go around and just watch other streams. Networking is a really important part to streaming and getting to know other streamers in a respectful way. Now, that doesn't mean you should go into their channels and say, hey, come watch me. Take that extra time to get to know other people and make yourself known on the platform. Tip number 3 that I'm going to give you is more of a technical tip. Prioritize your video and your audio quality. Some of you out there may be thinking, "Oh, but my stream looks just fine." In today's world, viewers love high quality, crisp quality stuff. Me personally, I like to watch streams that are clear, that I can hear them just 100% with clarity, with good graphics, no frame drops, no lag. That's what's most enticing to me, because any sort of blip or any sort of lag is a little bit irking to me every single time I see it. Now, sometimes it's the platform's fault. Sometimes Mixer may be having some struggles, and that's beyond the streamer's control, but do your very best. This is for PC users. So on PC, make sure when you're on, Streamlabs OBS, XSplit, whatever program you use, select the proper bitrate. Mixer has a protocol called FTL, their low latency protocol, and you kind of need to adjust your bitrate to be a little bit higher than what you would stream on another platform with. I don't want to get too technical, but with low latency streaming, it's trying to push out more packets at a faster rate. And so with a higher bitrate, that's going to help out a lot with that. Another thing I recommend you do along with higher bitrate is you want to do some research on your computer's specifications. So if you have a really high-end CPU, you can probably dish out a little bit more quality, like higher resolution, maybe a little bit more frame rate, a lower preset. And those are things that I recommend you do some research on. Now, along with the video quality, but you also have your audio quality. I cannot sit and listen to a stream if I can't understand what the user is saying, or if either the game is too loud, or if the audio is choppy, if it's just cutting in and out constantly, if the streamer's microphone is really gainy, or they're too loud, it hurts my ears and it's a little bit unpleasant to watch. I cannot tell you how many hours I've spent on my own stream just figuring out my audio qualities, my levels, get the right equipment that can help you with that. Get a good quality microphone. I recommend personally Blue microphones. The Blue Yeti is an incredible condenser microphone. They have a USB version. If you have an audio mixer, the XLR microphone, it's going to be much higher quality. For the most part, you just want to make sure that you have good audio that users can listen to. Tip number 4, talk. Talk, 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 talk. Be chatting as much as you possibly can. Dead airwaves on a stream are really annoying. But what if you have 0 viewers? One of my first ever streams was when I was playing the friends and family beta of Diablo 3. This was back in, 2011? Like a long time ago. I was just commentating on my own gameplay. I was talking about Diablo lore. I was talking about what my thoughts were about the game, what my favorite class was, what my favorite ability was, talking about the environment that I was traveling through. Just anything that you can think of that's going on in your game, try to make it more natural. Initially, it's going to seem weird. You're going to feel like you're forcing it. You're going to start to realize that your own commentation of your gameplay is actually really enticing to viewers. Talk about whatever you can. Keep people interested. Because the moment that you stop talking, viewers are going to start to notice, and they're going to start to walk away because they're going to think, okay, this isn't what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a streamer with maybe some more personality. And if you're still talking, it at least sort of exhibits your personality to the viewers. And they'll be like, okay, this guy's, he's got a personality. Cool. Now we're down to tip 5, the final tip for starting streaming on Mixer and how to start getting some viewers. What do I play? Now, this is a very controversial question. There's a lot of people on the site are anti-popular games, and they just want to play what they want to play. Now, I can tell you what big streamers play to get more viewers versus what you may want to play. Let's talk about both avenues, okay? First off, let's talk about playing the popular games. Streaming today is extremely different from what it used to be 5, 6+ years ago. Back then, you could play basically whatever you wanted, and everyone was typically on a level playing field. Today, streaming is a phenomenal way for game developers and publishers to promote their games and use streaming as a marketing method for their games. This is why streamers who play the more popular games are typically looked at more closely by large publishers and game developers and want to say, hey, here's a key to my game, show it off, we want you to play it, we'll even pay you to play this game for a while. Now, that being said, there is an extreme saturation of streamers who are playing popular games. If you go onto any streaming site, there's all these popular games that are always at the top. There are more people streaming these games because everyone thinks, I'm going to play the popular game, I'm going to get in and start getting some viewers, I'm going to start making that money. That's not how it works, okay? You're really going to be competing with other of the top dogs who are current streamers on that site and playing that game at maybe a higher level, have higher quality, have already established their communities. It's going to be tough. I'm not trying to dissuade you from doing it. If you want to play the most popular game, by all means do it. Let's talk about playing less popular games. There's definitely a niche crowd of people who want to watch these types of older games that aren't typically considered popular by today's standards. These viewers may or may not have higher retention, as they definitely needed to search for the game you're playing specifically. They're going to have to go and actually search for that game and find you. Those viewers are great viewers because they're going to be more retained. They invested time finding you, and as long as they're enjoying what they're watching and they see that you're enjoying the game, they're going to stick around. But starting out playing less popular games, it's going to be a lot harder for you to start getting that viewer count. But do not let that dissuade you. I would rather have a lower viewer count of high quality viewers and retained viewers so that I can establish a baseline viewership. You got those people who are going to start coming back and they become your regulars. These regulars are going to be crucial to your growth. Now, we've talked about the popular games, the less popular games, but let's talk about what you want to play. Regardless of what popularity it falls into, play what you want to play. If you like the most popular game out right now, play it. If your favorite games are Minesweeper and Solitaire, try to work those into your routine. Viewers are not stupid. They can tell if you're faking it. It's very, very easy to see when someone is playing a game they're not really into, they don't really want to play, and they're going to be completely turned off by that. Another thing about playing what you want to play is you are going to enjoy streaming much more. You will experience far less streamer burnout. You'll be able to play for longer sessions. You are enjoying yourself regardless of having viewers or not. So those are the top 5 tips that I have for you today, but let's go into one quick bonus tip. Tip number 6 that I'm going to give to you guys. Notice how not one time did I ever mention for you to monitor your viewer count. That's because starting out, you should be hiding your viewer count. I still do to this day, because when you focus on your viewer count, they're only ever going to be given false hope by some maybe random large host that's going to give you some viewers, or you're going to be disappointed by a low number. Both of these emotions are turnoffs for viewers. So don't let the viewer count control you. This is something that will put you into a bad mood and will turn off your viewers. That's all I got for you today, guys. My name is Excellion. Make sure you check me out, mixer.com/Excellion. I'm live right now. Come drop a follow. Make sure you like and subscribe the video if you enjoyed the content, and we'll catch you next time.